Safe Harbour is a really good film. I wasn't sure what to expect from this. I'd never heard of it. I wanted to watch it for Treat Williams, and I'm pleased to say it was really moving. This was released in 2009. It's directed by Jerry Jameson, written by Josef Anderson, and we have a cast including, of course, Treat Williams. We also have Nancy Travis, Orson Bean, and various others. And it's actually based on a true story, which I didn't know going into it. It's based on the true story of the origins of the Safe Harbour Boys Home, which was founded by Doug and Robbie, who are our protagonists in the film. And I don't know how accurate this is to the true story. I did a tiny bit of research, by which I mean I went onto the Safe Harbour website and read a tiny bit in the About Us section. But other than that, I don't know how accurate it is. If anybody has any thoughts on that, please feel free to share. But it's certainly a really interesting story. Doug and Robbie are about to sail around the world in their sailboat, but they end up fostering some teenage boys who would otherwise be sent to the juvenile hall. And being fostered by them, by Doug and Robbie, is generally going to be a better option and will hopefully set the boys up on a better, more hopeful path. And that's what the film is about. And there are obviously a lot of obstacles. There are a lot of behaviours that are maybe challenging that Doug and Robbie have to deal with. And it's a really inspirational story. I think the characters are really believable. The scenarios feel really realistic. And as a story, it is uplifting, it's moving, it's emotional, it's sometimes gentle and sometimes dramatic. And I think it has a really nice balance there that works really well. And in terms of the visuals, it is gorgeous. We have some really beautiful outdoor scenes. And according to IMDb, the filming locations for this film include Long Beach, California, and San Pedro and Seal Beach. And it is so beautiful to look at, and it just adds to the atmosphere, and again helps to make it for the most part quite gentle and pleasant to look at. But again, there are moments that are maybe a little bit more dramatic. We have some great camera work, great music, the narrative works well, the characters are well written, the performances are great. Even if it wasn't based on a true story, it would still be moving and quite emotional. But then remembering that it is based on a true story, I think that that's pretty brilliant, and I thoroughly recommend doing a little bit of reading about the Safe Harbour Boys Home. The only thing that's maybe questionable is that the Safe Harbour Boys Home is in Florida. And according to IMDb, at least, this wasn't filmed in Florida. And I feel like that would have made it a little bit better. Maybe there's a reason why they didn't film in Florida, I don't know. But for me, I feel like that would have made it a little bit better. But if anybody knows anything about that, please feel free to share. Either way, it looks great, it's believable, the characters are well written, the performances are great, and ultimately I thought this was a really solid film. If you're in the mood for something that's both gentle and dramatic while being emotional and uplifting, Safe Harbour is definitely a film that I'd say is worth checking out.